Welcome to Better's Bet, where we bet better. My name's Alec. This is Moxie. And we're going to go over these Week 8 college football games. And just a little recap for last week. I can't believe I actually had a sweep, bro. College football isn't typically my forte. I do love capping college football, and I do feel like I do get some great looks, but I don't know. I feel like NFL, I have a better read. So to have a 4-0 week after having an 8-0 week in NFL was quite something. It made me feel really good. But tell me about your week, Malik. 3-4, 0-2 on the leans. What's going on, bro? You're throwing a lot out there.
Hey, bro, you don't gotta fucking spray it to me, bro. You know? Hey, we're gonna get back in the lab and we're gonna get this week done and we're gonna go 5-0.
Oh, I love the energy. I love the energy. All right, so you have 5 confirmed plays then this week?
Yeah. I got 5 plays and I got some leads.
You have 5 plays and some leans?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and take it away?
We're gonna go to Air Force versus Boise State. Air Force has a losing record to Boise State, and Boise State doesn't look like a good team at all. Their defense is just horrible, and they're beating on teams that are weak in the Mountain West Conference. And Air Force is a pretty good team, you know. They like to run the ball a lot, and that's what they're going to do to Boise, and they're going to wear down Boise State's defense and give me Air Force money line.
Air Force on the money line, okay. What are you looking at next?
We are gonna go to Ole Miss versus LSU. I'm going to be taking Ole Miss. Ole Miss needs to stay in this spot. They're 7-0, looking to go 8-0 at LSU. LSU has a big home game next week against Alabama. I think they're looking forward to that game, and they're just going to brush this game off and take the loss. Ole Miss money line.
Ole Miss money line. Okay. I don't know, man. I feel like this is a spot where I might lean against you. I kind of like LSU, but who knows? It's not one of my official plays. I'm just saying, like, what I think. Again, I don't have anything writing on it. I won't have anything writing on it, but I just think LSU.
Bro, LSU has been a disappointment, bro. I mean, after week 1, I can't bet this LSU team.
Okay.
They have no hopes. They're not going to go anywhere, so.
They're not going anywhere?
No. Probably look for a bowl game, but not this week.
All right, let's see. What else you got?
We're going to go to Penn State versus Minnesota. I'm going to be taking Minnesota +6. Penn State has a home game against Ohio State next week.
They do.
Let's go over to Notre Dame versus UNLV. The funky old UNLV, right?
The UNLV that you were riding high on for the first 6 weeks of or the first 5 weeks of college football.
You know, I don't think Notre Dame's going to cover this number. This number is really high. Notre Dame hasn't been a good team all year, losing to bums. I think UNLV could cover this 27.5. backdoor cover. UNLV hasn't put up any points, so give me UNLV plus 27.5.
UNLV plus 27.5. Okay. Any? I mean, you said you had a couple leans also.
Yeah. One of my leans is Iowa versus Ohio State plus the 29.5. I think Ohio State is gonna just take it easy. Iowa can play some defense, and you know after that first game, Notre Dame and Ohio State. Notre Dame has defense, so does Iowa. So give me Iowa State. Iowa plus 29.5.
All right. What else you looking at?
Um, we're gonna go over to Clemson versus Syracuse. Give me Syracuse plus the 14.
Syracuse plus the 14.
Yep. Syracuse have covered 6 of the last 8 meetings versus Clemson.
6 of the last 8.
Yep.
And where's the game at?
In Clemson.
In Clemson. Coming off that road win against Florida State. Who they got next week?
I didn't look too far. I just like points, bro. I like dogs.
You like points and you like dogs?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Hey.
then there's another lean I have. I like Wisconsin money line. Wisconsin last year extended the series. They have the longest winning streak to 15. They're 12-3 against the spread. Purdue won 2 straight in Madison in 2003, but have not won ever since. They're 0-7 straight up, but they covered the last 3 ATS. This line is too short to cover. I give me Wisconsin minus the 2.5 and money line.
Wisconsin minus 2.5 in the money line. Okay. So how many total plays does that make for you, and how many leans does that make for you?
That's 3 leans, and I think that's 4 official plays. I didn't write it down. UNLV, Syracuse, Air Force, Minnesota, yeah, I think that's 4 official plays, and I think that's 3 leans with the lean of Iowa, Wisconsin money line, Wisconsin minus 2.5, and that's all.
And that's all?
Yep.
All right. Well, we will definitely mark those down for you, bro. Definitely need to we need to start digging ourselves out of the hole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing like week 8 to get that started though, right?
It only gets better in the bowl games. I'll definitely go undefeated in bowl games. The bowl games. You have a stronger look and feeling on these bowl games.
Yeah, I mean, some bowl games are very tough though. Some games are really close and that they got the number spot on. Could go either way, and then there's some bowl games where it's just blatantly clear as day what side you should be taking. But I myself have 5 picks for the week after a 4-0 up 4 units last week. We're currently sitting 6-2, up 3.3 units since the start of the show, which I'm quite happy with. Very much so. I mean, typically in college, at least, I was good for about a 3-2 record every week. Remember when we did the tracking last year with your dad, and we just did the 5 picks for like the first 8 weeks of the season?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a couple 4-1 weeks, but I was like 3-2 consistently every week. So to have a 4-0 week, that feels really good. But what's up?
If we started this show 2 days ago, I'll be 2-0 right now. I would have took Appalachian State minus the points and Virginia plus the 3.5 for money line.
I mean, that's tough, bro, because this college show is going to be on Fridays. I mean, do you have any picks tonight?
Those are shit bowls.
Okay.
Maybe
you don't have to throw any. You don't have to throw anything out there if you don't like anything.
I'll just throw something out there. Getting points with Temple at home plus 13.5, buying up to 14 is not a bad play.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go over my 5 picks really quickly. We can try to keep this video here under 15 minutes or so. I'm looking at my first pick as Texas, Oklahoma State under the 60.5. Now, Oklahoma State's coming off that blown lead in the 4th quarter at TCU. Their quarterback's shoulder is hanging on by a thread. And I just think Texas's defense is just going to be a little too much for them. Maybe Texas. I mean, I would also lean Texas to cover. I'm not going to make any official lean plays on it. Not going to throw anything there. But my confirmed picks: Texas, Oklahoma State under that 60.5. I like UCLA, Oregon over 70.5. And yes, that number is so sky high, but for a good reason. I know Oregon's coming off a bye. I can't remember. I didn't write anything down. Is UCLA coming off the bye as well?
Yeah.
So that's what I thought. Both teams coming off of a bye. They had all the time in the world to prepare for each other. And none of these teams have anything defensively to prepare for each other. So they're just preparing offensive schemes here.
I want to add one thing to that. So, Oregon off a bye is 22-1.
22-1 off the bye? That's a crazy statistic. I did not. I must have is that in Phil Steele?
Yep.
Ooh, I only looked at Mark Lawrence. But all right, yeah. Dang, that's a very interesting stat. What's the spread? 6?
6.5.
6.5.
All that money's riding on UCLA, so don't be surprised if Oregon blows them out.
You know what? I think that is enough to give me a confirmed lean. I will now lean Oregon minus. Let me pull it up on board real quick so we can get a live number here. Let's see. Oregon is sitting at 6.5 minus 110. We will add that to the lean column. I've actually not put any leans out in college football yet this year, but we will put the first one out here. Lean Oregon minus a 6.5 over UCLA. Minus 6.5. All right, perfect. Got that written down. Third confirmed pick. I like Kansas State plus the 3.5 against TCU. Same story as last week against TCU. I just think, especially after that double overtime come from behind 4th quarter victory for Kansas State, TCU. I think it's just a tough spot for TCU again this week. Kansas State typically always plays TCU very well. I just like the matchup here. Taking a look at where that money is really quickly. I wish I would have just had this up already. The thing that throws me off too is like I write stuff in the orders, I see it on Boyd, and then you go, there it is. Then you go to Vegas Insider and it has the numbers as if like, at every other book, but Boyd doesn't follow that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Kansas State really has all the money.
Yeah, I'm not fooling with that game or that Kansas.
Kansas, we're coming off that loss against Oklahoma. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Kansas State has 62% of the bets, 87% of the money on to cover that spread. 52% of the bets, 82% of the money on the under. Total sitting at 53. And then 55% of the tickets on TCU money line, but 76% of the money is on Kansas State money line.
Hey, there's a crazy stat on that Kansas game. Kansas' last win against Baylor was in 2007 as they lost 12 straight up and lost 10 in a row against the spread. And I think Baylor's sitting at -8.
I might, you know what? After seeing how that money's lying here on this Kansas State game, bro, we're going to cross this off the board live. I'm not taking Kansas State plus the 3.5. I don't know. That money looks a little funky. Everything's on Kansas State there. And you said that spread's sitting at 8. That could definitely be the reason that Kansas overlooked Oklahoma last week.
Yeah. Maybe you could get Baylor early, first half. Shit.
Let's take a look at Baylor's first half here.
Might be -4, 4.5.
And Baylor's now 9.5 point favorites, actually.
Ooh.
And first half is sitting at a 6.5.
Damn.
Yeah. 6.5 minus 115.
I might add another play. Navy plus 3.5. Visitor.
Gang, you straight. That's one of my plays. All right.
Navy visitor has won 3 of the last 4 meetings. ATS, averaging 40 points per game.
Houston just had that come from behind victory on Thursday last week also.
And Houston is not very good at all. I mean, Navy's not very good either.
Navy's not very good either, but I don't know. I feel like Houston's due for a letdown.
Navy backdoored that last game I think that was on Friday last week.
All right. I definitely like and agree with the pick. Yeah, I also have Navy to cover, so I will just skip that. I will get it marked down, but we'll skip it. Next, I like Alabama by the 21, and you're going to look at me crazy, and I know you're pissed off at Alabama, but Nick Saban is going to get this team right. They definitely need to show out for college football. They need to get a big win, and they need to show out. They're going to give it to Mississippi State. They're gonna bend them over a barrel and they're gonna blow them out.
I disagree, bro. This
Hey,
is
that's
the
fine.
time.
Hey,
This is
you took Bama last week. That's you can
yeah.
hold the
I took
L. You
it
can
in
hold the
game, bro.
L. It's okay.
I took it
They're
in
gonna
game,
get it
but
done this week. They're
I'm
gonna
just
get it done
saying.
this week.
This long in the season, Alabama does not cover every single game, and I don't think they're going to cover.
That's all right.
You know,
Typically,
I
Bama's
don't
sitting undefeated and everyone's throwing their money on them. I mean, that's fine. I'm
exactly
throwing my money on them this week after a loss. They're gonna get right. They're sitting number 6 in the poll right now.
You better get them early because yeah.
Actually, you know what? I will go ahead and get them early. Let's go ahead and let's pull up the first half real quick because I'm comfortable taking the full game. But you know what? Since you want to say that, I would just go ahead. I'm not going to take out. I mean, I will take Alabama full game, but let's go ahead cross that off. -21. Let's go ahead and pull up first half, and that's what we're taking. Ready? Spread first half 11.5. Give me Bama 11.5 first half. There we go. And to go back to your Ole Miss LSU game, I like the game over. I like it over the 66.5. I see points being scored in that matchup.
Yeah.
I just see points, and maybe if Ole Miss jumps out to a bigger lead, it's going to force LSU, who's playing at home in a comfortable environment for them, to have to throw the ball, have to play from behind, maybe score some more points quickly. So I don't know. I could see this being a back and forth teetering game, not quite as high scoring as that Tennessee Alabama game, but something very similar where it's back and forth.
I swear I read something about an over, and I was kind of leaning that way because it was 12-4 to the over.
LSU and Ole Miss.
Was it LSU Ole Miss?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
No, I don't think it was. I don't even have it rolling in the notes either. But I literally just read it like probably I don't know 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so you just read this?
Yeah. There's one stat on the Clemson. They've gone under the total in 5 of the last 6 combining 50.2 points per game.
Well, here's what gets me, and the reason why I liked it. Right, you have 83% of the tickets on the over, 94% of the money on the under, but it went from 64 to 66.5. I gotta make the move on that.
Yeah.
I just personally have to. You know how my brain operates and how I talk about these things. I seen it. I gotta do it.
Bro, that shit really pisses me off. I can't find this shit.
That's all good. It's all good. We're about to wrap this up here anyway, brother. So we have your confirmed plays, your leans. We have my confirmed plays, which I'll touch over again. Texas, Oklahoma State under 60.5. UCLA, Oregon over 70.5. Navy plus 3.5. Because we took off the Kansas State game, talking about it. Talked me off live, and see where that money was. We changed Alabama full game 21 to Alabama first half 11.5. So mark that. And then Ole Miss LSU over 66.5 with one lean, that being to Oregon minus 6.5. With that what was it, 22-1 off of a bye or 20-1 off of a bye?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I just want to take the time to thank everybody. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for supporting us. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Leave a like, drop a comment, let us know your top plays, what you're thinking, what you're leaning, and until next time.
Bro, it was LSU.
Oh, whoa! I will cut that. I will cut that off. Say that again. What was LSU?
It's 12-4 to the over. And
Wow.
I think I'm gonna add that to my official play too.
Ole Miss LSU over?
Yep.
I like it. Well, we'll wrap it up one more time. I'm sorry. We will wrap it up again. But yeah, if you have taken the time, thank you. We really appreciate every single person who does take the time out of their day to support. And again, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and just let us know what you're on. Simple as that. If you like what you see, pay the fee. If you don't like what you see, don't start stacking checks. If you don't like what you see, totally fine. If you like what you see, just hit the like button. That's all we ask. We're not selling any plays. We just want to have great conversation, as you know, like always. But let's go ahead and cash these tickets.
Follow us on TikTok, baby.